This thing looks really cool.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of like this, like even
Wow.
camouflage, like very supercar.
Looks like a
look,
McLaren.
like different. Okay. So are you familiar with the McLaren GT?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I know it by name, but I don't think I could pick it out of a lineup. So I think that qualifies as a no.
So this is the McLaren GT, which like looks like if they made the C8 Corvette E-Ray in a video game and didn't have the license.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Make it close.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Like that's a McLaren.
Welcome back to Third Pedal Podcast. I'm Jacob.
I'm Zach.
Welcome back to the show. Update from last week is, if you didn't listen to last week's episode, you should. We go over the Gymkhana video, but we have a Facebook group now.
Yes.
So join that. It's called the Third Pedal Podcast Crew. Something we've talked about a lot is trying to get everybody involved in communicating together. We have a lot of people like DMing us hilarious videos, cool pictures of progress on their car, funny stuff that they found. And it's awesome because we get to enjoy it, but we don't. At least at this point, we don't release enough episodes, like more than one a week, that we could fit all that stuff in. Yeah. So what we've decided to do is we're going to have this Facebook group where, just like all your other car groups that you're a part of, you can just go on and share like stuff you're working on. If you see something funny, I'm on a page that just shows like sketchy stuff that they see on other people's cars in a while. Yeah. Share stuff like that. But whatever you think of, this is a place for all of us to share stuff together, collaborate, talk through things. If you have an issue with your car, seek advice, whatever it is. Whether you're experienced or brand new at all this, it's for everybody. So check it out, Third Pedal Podcast Crew on Facebook. We'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, don't be afraid to share like whatever in there. Like post your, let's keep it car related.
Yeah, yeah.
Post your cars, like just what, even, how about the introduction? We could have, this would be a little bit new for the group. So if you've already been posting there, cool, thank you. But as your intro, post like, what your car is, what you've done to it, kind of like a basic introduction.
Like a meet and greet for cars. Show us what you drive. Go
awesome. Check out ours, like our write-ups. We'll do the same things for ours.
We'll lead by example. Reminder, lead by
remind.
But
hey,
anyway,
Siri, remind me to post in the group.
So speaking of posting about things and whether you know a lot or don't know a lot, weird segue. We're going to take another quiz. You guys are welcome to take the quiz with us.
Do it.
This is going to be a little weirder. We're going to see how it goes. Zach thinks he knows what the first one is already.
I definitely know the first one.
So can you guess what these engines are just by the photo? So we're going to be showing a photo of an engine. Looks like the first one's disassembled. We're going to have to guess which series.
I hope they're not
model.
all disassembled because this might get very difficult.
Yeah, that's going to go haywire real quick unless it's like 4 engines that we have.
And it's hyper specific. It's not like BMW. It's like which specific
which engine code from BMW. So we're going to be playing along, same as the other quizzes that we've done. We'll read the options. We'll give you guys a sec. And then guess what you got. Maybe, I guess now you can post it in either the Facebook group or just in the comments below what score you guys get on this. So
comment on the, we'll have the episode, obviously, if you found it here. If you found it through this, comment on what your score is.
Yes. So without further ado, here we are. Question uno.
Okay, so this is obviously a BMW straight six.
So we're looking at complete disassembled. It's got beautiful headers, actually.
That's not stock. There's no way, right?
Straight six. It can't. I don't think that's a stock intake manifold either.
Yeah, it is. The intake manifold is.
Really?
I'm 99% sure.
Okay, so the options.
That's like an air box. See, look, these are the individual throttle bodies that are inside. They go inside of there. It's individual.
That's factory?
Yeah. This.
Because that's the Vano system, right?
This is the S54 out of the E46 M3.
It is an M because there's a valve cover. Well, so Zach thinks she's all confident knowing what it is. Let me read you the options first.
Oh yeah, my bad.
We've got a BMW M52.
Not.
An S54.
Yes.
An M10.
Nope.
And an S20.
Nope.
All right. I know nothing about BMW engines.
Do you seriously not?
Don't know.
You don't know that's an S54?
Not at all.
Okay, so the M52 is an E30, I believe E36.
Okay.
Isn't that one just like the standard straight six?
Okay.
It can be.
I've heard M52 before.
Yeah.
I've heard S54.
M10, I believe, is the 4-cylinder out of like the E30.
Okay.
S20, I'm not sure a lot about that one.
It might not be real. They could have thrown a fake one in there. Is the S54 what Dad has?
Yes.
Because his is an M3 drivetrain.
So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think he has the S54. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is out of the. Bless you.
Sorry, I just sneezed.
That one came out. No, you missed me. They came out of nowhere.
Oh, it's been coming for the last 5 minutes or so. I also forgot to hit record on the screen, so here we are.
That's all right.
All right. So yeah, if you think S54, go ahead and tap it. Let's see if that's what it's at. Boom. That is a really disappointing celebration. Yep. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. On to question 2.
Like how they block it.
Yeah, that was rude.
Said it right there.
Yeah, they're like, no.
So it's a V6. Thanks for giving that away. So they blocked the brand of what it is. So I'm pretty sure this is a Nissan
It's
VQ.
definitely not a Mercedes.
Oh, it's VQ25 versus VQ37 though. Yeah, it's definitely not Mercedes. Why did they only do Nissan and Mercedes? It's the only two.
I don't know.
Like, it looks complicated enough, but like this, I feel like screams Nissan.
Yeah.
Same as this.
Yeah, it's definitely the Nissan font and branding and stuff. Like they do that honeycomb thing on the weird false engine cover. I'm going to say...
How can you tell if it's the 35 versus 37 though?
So 25 versus 37. So
Yeah.
I'm going to guess...
37. I'm going 37.
Oh, I was going to guess 25.
That's fine.
37 sounded too... Okay, I'm going 25, you're going 37.
Yep.
Winner. Sudden death. First round takes
Shoot.
it.
Rock, paper, scissors,
Yeah,
shoot.
obviously. Okay. That's the way God intended.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Dang. 25. You're wrong.
Yeah. So what is that coming? Do you know?
That's an F20C. Oh, that might be a K20A.
Okay, I am
or
not.
Or B18C.
I am not qualified for this test, apparently. Well, it's got some nice... I like how they're like...
Yeah, this is like a distressed one. Right?
Yeah, I know nothing about these.
K20A.
K20A? All right, so the options for everybody. I forgot to read options for the last one.
This is obviously a Honda VTEC.
Yeah, it's a Honda. Yeah, we were looking at a...
It's a red top.
Inline 4. Yep. Is that a thing, red top, in these?
I think so.
I don't know. B18C, F20C, or K20A?
It's definitely an F20 or K20. It's not a B18.
Okay, did one of those come turbocharged, or were they both naturally aspirated?
I believe they were both NA. Because this isn't turbo, is it?
No. That's why I was just asking, just to know.
I think it's the K20.
It's in something with a strut bar. It might be a K20.
Let's go K20.
All right.
Oh,
it's a B18.
Wait, what?
What?
I was definitely not that one. Okay, I don't know my Honda.
Suck. Okay.
I'm cool. I don't know the Honda.
Yeah. Yeah, weirdly, a win for us.
This is
Okay, so now we're looking at a V8.
It's either the Maserati or the Ferrari.
Wait.
Sorry.
So it's actually the fourth thing. It's either a BMW S65 V8, a Ferrari F140 V12, a Audi 4.2 FSI V8, or a Maserati Ferrari 4.2 V8.
Well, they gave it away with, it's obviously not a V12.
Right. So we ruled that one out. It's definitely a V8. So it's either, we ruled out one. I don't think it's the BMW. It's got to be the Maserati Ferrari thing.
Haven't you seen the valve covers on the Maseratis?
Only because of the crinkle valve cover.
Yeah.
And they blocked the little logo, which I think is there.
No, I meant the intake manifold.
Yeah.
That whole, it looks like this.
It does.
That I've seen in, it's Maserati all day.
Well, but it all says Ferrari. Well, it's all Ferrari branded. Because I think we saw that in Ryan Turk's BRZ.
Is that what he has in his too?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Boom.
We know what's up.
We're batting 50% right now.
Miata.
So Mazda, BP, right?
Yeah.
So it's either, sorry, everybody. It's either a Nissan SR20,
we got to stop jumping
Mazda BP, Toyota 3S GE, or a Toyota 1ZZ. It's got to be the Mazda BP, right?
I think so. Now that you said, though,
which one made
Nissan,
you slip up?
Oh, it's not an SR20.
No, it's not the SR20. Because that's the SR20
and
is like
it's the 3S GE.
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's the Mazda.
Yeah, let's go Mazda.
Woo!
Nice. Killing it. What? Some plastic. That looks GM.
Jaguar AG-V8. Definitely a bigger engine.
AJ V8.
What did I say?
AG.
Oh, AJ V8. Weird. 392 Hemi, GM LS6, or a GM LT1.
Is it a V8?
It is a V8. You see the exhaust manifold.
But wait a minute. There's only 3 spark plugs.
I think there's a fourth hidden because you can see 4 on the exhaust manifold.
Oh, yep. Okay.
I mean, all the options are V8, so I hope it's a V8.
I have no idea. I don't think that's Hemi. I don't know what the LS6 and LT1 look like. I don't think the LT1 has got the billet supercharger on top, doesn't it?
I thought so.
So it could be an LS6.
I'm leaning LS6.
I'm leaning Jaguar, actually.
Really?
Just because I don't recognize it that much. And I feel like I've seen an LS6 and it doesn't look like that. But I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Rock, paper, scissors. I'll go Jag, you go LS6.
Sure.
Rock, paper, scissors. Shoot. Ah, again.
Boom. LS6. Oh, it was an
really?
LT1.
That's an LT1?
Interesting.
I feel like we need to fact check that one.
Yeah, that one's weird. Oh, this is interesting. All right, is this?
Whoa.
It is a flat 6 engine.
Wait, is this like a cross section cut of one? I
feel
like that's not fair.
Yep. So it's either a Honda Goldwing 1.8, Porsche 991 911 3.8, or a Subaru EZ36.
Okay, so look at the Honda Goldwing. That's a motorcycle one, isn't it?
But my Goldwing had a boxer.
Yeah.
Mine had a 4-cylinder boxer.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that.
No, I don't either.
Mainly
I'm looking
because
at the intake manifold.
Oh, I was looking at the oil fill area, and I don't think it would be.
That looks Subaru.
Yeah.
Like, look at the plastic intake manifold,
Subaru.
and that looks Subaru.
Yep, it's got to be Subaru.
Looks Subaru. Okay, let's go easy 36. All right. We still
really
got
glad
it, baby.
that was not a Porsche. That would have been sad.
I know.
What engine is this? Ooh, a lot of cylinders. Okay, so this is either a Cosworth 6.5, Aston Martin Valkyrie, Lamborghini L539, Ferrari F113, or an AMG M120, the Pagani Zonda spec. Okay, so
it's got 4 throttle bodies.
That's nuts. It's a V12.
And it's for a rear engine car.
Right, that's what I was paying attention to. So you've got the exhaust manifold coming out the rear, but it's a transaxle that goes forward.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Where are the output shafts, though? That's what I'm confused about.
I just don't think they're...
I think it's here.
Yeah, it must be below.
Is it all-wheel? It's not all-wheel drive.
I don't know. This, I don't know. It feels like Pagani, but I just think it's because it looks crazy.
Let's play a cheating game.
Okay.
They blocked out a really long logo down the whole thing, which makes me lean Lamborghini.
Mm-hmm.
That like this could be like a
What's
Aventador.
the L539 though? Is that from the Aventador?
It must be the engine code, but if it is, it would be the last naturally aspirated V12, which I think would be the Aventador.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would tell us what car this was in afterwards.
Yeah,
we should look this one up because I'm curious. But I would lean Lamborghini. Do you think Lamborghini?
I know as much to say yes to that, just not much.
Okay, let's try Lamborghini.
Oh,
Woo!
nice job!
All right, what is that in? L539, 5 of 8, which is a percentage. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's not awesome. A little over half. Here, you look up what that's from. I'll look up our percentage. We scored 63%.
Ooh,
passing-ish. So anyway, what did you guys score? That was
Aventador.
Trickier.
That's the Aventador.
It is the Aventador. Okay, so we didn't get a lot of them right, but when we got one right, we knew what car it came from. We knew everything about it.
Yeah.
Can you look up the Honda B18C? Oh, is it from those? From the hatches?
Must be. Yeah. I didn't think they looked like that.
Oh. That's definitely what we were looking at, though.
Yeah. F20C. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's the valve cover of those. Look at that. This looks like a sick little engine. And that's out of this one.
Gotcha.
The
IDS
STK.
2000s. Interesting.
And then there was what was the other one? K20A.
That's like the Honda motor, isn't it?
That's like the newer-ish Civic
Gotcha.
engine, it looks like.
Interesting. Why did they put it in an RX-7?
K20 in it.
Anyway, we're getting distracted.
Okay, yep.
So let us know what you guys scored. Go to the Facebook group or comment below. Let us know. That we started out prime.
Mint.
A couple rough batches. Ended strong though.
I think we ended strong. Yeah, 5 out of 8's not bad.
No,
I'd be happy with that if I was still in school.
But anyway, that's that for you.
Speaking of engines,
okay.
Our segues are the worst. We should do a compilation of our segues.
Speaking of this, speaking of
Hondas, the Chevrolet Corvette. Okay, so the C8 Corvette is obviously awesome. Yep. This year now, the C8 Z06 with the flat plane crank finally is available.
Oh, sweet.
I don't know if you've seen, there's been several car influencer people like posting theirs.
Yeah.
And I know we got
awesome.
Yeah, we got like teases of the exhaust sound and stuff like that when it was first being developed.
Yeah.
And like it's as good as expected.
Yeah.
Like it's great. It's awesome car. It's basically
Corvette made a Ferrari.
Yeah, it's a baby Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like, or a poor man's Ferrari, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
Even though they're like $200K.
What is
the Z06?
Really?
Yeah. What's it? Strataman, I think is how you say his name. Stradman?
Yeah. Purple guy.
Sorry.
Strata man.
Yeah. Also, side note, do you know much about his story?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it another time.
Camping out in his TT because he just wanted to be like a content creator.
Yes.
So freaking cool.
Amazing.
We gotta have him on.
Yeah.
We gotta have him on. Also, I want to ride in his Bugatti.
Yeah.
Did you see the house he's building?
Start a Third Pedal podcast chain on all his videos. Thank you.
Yeah, his story is awesome. And like his enthusiasm level and energy level is awesome too. Like,
yeah.
I love his attitude about stuff. But I had no clue they cost that much, and I feel a little bit
So
worried.
they start at 109, and then you spec it out, and then you pay the dealer upcharge because like all these special. Can you move that foot, please? Thanks. Hit it like 4 times.
We just talked about this a couple weeks ago with the whole like the NSX price and like, oh, you priced yourself out of it. You should be more like Corvette.
Yeah. So I think it was him, I think it was his, but they posted like, it was like 178. I think they spent on theirs. Yeah. So they're up there. So like
nuts.
You're spending pretty dang close to Ferrari money.
Yeah.
On one to get the performance. So it's not like poor man's, I guess, Ferrari. But anyways, great car. Super cool. I didn't realize how many more plans they had for that platform.
Really?
Yeah. So it kind of reminded me, like, grand scheme of things, I thought this was an interesting thought, so I wanted to share it with you guys too. So like we talked about it when the Bronco came out. They came out with the Bronco Sport, right? Which was basically just the Ford Escape.
Yeah.
But
it was
rebranded.
like super disappointing. Yeah.
So like the Ford Escape version of the Bronco walked so the full version could run. Like that one was like the investors like return on investment, and then they made the full size one.
It was the Cybertruck deposit.
Right, exactly. That's
still
what
waiting to see if that one pays off. But
yeah, still got that $100 out there. But I thought that was interesting seeing that play out, and now I see the full size Broncos everywhere. Right, like they needed that initial cash flow.
Yeah. So it's like they wanted to test the brand to be like, people still care about
and
this?
Like the Supra, I don't know if this is exactly how it worked for Supra, but they came out with the Supra, the A90, right? Where it's like, it's automatic, it's partnered with BMW, all that stuff. And now like the one coming out this year, supposedly they're coming out with the one with the manual transmission. I forget exactly when. Yeah. And I thought I heard it was a Toyota made straight six. Or am I wrong on that?
No, I think you're right.
The same one?
Yeah, you're right. It's a Toyota made, but it's going to be super limited. It's the one with the red badges, right?
I think so. Yeah, the red badge is the one that comes in manual. Yeah. So it's like the Flex.
Yeah.
But I just think that whole idea is pretty cool.
Yep.
So like I'm finding out there's just a little fluff flying and I just something walking over there. We're good. That Corvette Chevy GM basically did that with the Corvette. So they came out with the C8, right? It's the basic one.
Yep.
Awesome car. Still a great Corvette. The Stingray, it's like basic though.
They're all mid-engine, right?
Yeah.
All the C8s? Okay.
All of them.
Okay. I had a weird moment there where I was like, wait a minute. Well, yeah.
But so that one, and now they can come out with the Z06, right?
Okay,
like all the sales they had of that one.
Yep.
Now they can produce the Z06
now they
on a
make
large
that
scale.
Smaller engine, more horsepower, flat plane crank, lots of different technology.
So that's important.
Yep.
Like that the Z06 is the only one that has that flat plane crank, like the high revving, the one that sounds like Ferrari. It's that one.
Yep.
The other one, still a great motor.
Yep.
It's the LT1, is it?
I don't know. L something.
Correct. Something.
It might be. I don't think it's an LS. I think it is an LT. I'm not sure.
I think it's LT1.
Yeah.
But anyways, I didn't know they were making a hybrid, but like a fast hybrid.
Really?
Okay, so they're having the Corvette E-Ray is a hybrid model, so it's still got the V8.
All those make me so nervous when they're like Mach E, and you're like, is it going to be like that, or is it going to be
like the Lightning?
Yeah,
like they took like what was the super
they
high
bring all these
performance
brands
one.
back. They're like, look what we did. You're like,
yeah.
That sounds interesting though. So they're making a fast hybrid.
So
they're going
LaFerrari
drive. With it. Oh,
yep. So the electric basically powers the front, and the V8 still powers the rear.
Sick.
So
all Corvettes are normally rear-wheel drive, right?
Yes.
The new C8s are? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the first all-wheel drive Corvette we're going to see.
I believe so. I think it's the first one.
Wow.
So it gets cooler, but just for this one.
Okay.
It's coming out in 23. Supposedly.
Really?
I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I believe it's coming out this year.
Interesting.
And
it's called the E-Ray?
The E-Ray.
Interesting.
So it was Stingray.
Yep.
And now it's like E-Ray. Like
nice.
Playing words, whatever.
Cool. Good for them.
It looks really cool. So the Corvette configurator online on the website, you could configure to buy it glitched and like allowed people to like customize them. So we got like a preview of it.
Whoa.
And then the president, I believe it was the president, posted this teaser video of a newly designed looking Corvette drifting in snow. So you know how the European cars are known to do this, the Audis and Mercedes and stuff. They test their cars on like frozen lake or something covered in snow to test the all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So
Here,
I'll show you this.
Pull it up. Boom.
And I don't believe this video has any ads. It's just nice.
We'll just yell over them if they do.
It's just beautiful. Also really hope this music isn't copyrighted. Look at this.
Oh. That looks incredible.
Right.
It does look a lot like an NSX though, which is a little funny.
A what?
An NSX.
Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like in a second.
Jeez.
It's like redesigned front bumper. So like,
wow.
I don't know, because
what in the world? That's the most
Unwrap.
random little.
But it's like camouflaged. It's camouflaged like a test one.
Yeah.
And
then
then
it said in the beginning it was a pre-production car shown.
Yeah, and like professional driver and close course and stuff like that. Yeah, super odd. Like that's not an official Chevy commercial. Like this is posted by some rando on.
Right.
Sorry, Corvette Net, but some rando on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, yeah. 100%.
And that I was told is the C7 Corvette logo because they like change it sort of each time. So like it's the wrong logo, and like this isn't like from Chevy. I don't believe, but I was also told that like this video was
like this
more
video
or less leaked.
Yeah.
So super interesting.
Okay.
So
in addition to the Z06 and the E-Ray, there's supposedly like this is like a teaser. Is this the E-Ray?
This is the E-Ray.
This is the E-Ray.
This is the E-Ray.
Okay.
So this is the configurator that glitched, and it allowed you to see what it looks like. So you can see it's totally redesigned front end. Here's a leaked photo.
That is a huge.
This is completely undisguised too.
Wow.
Like it's just out there.
Right.
But like it is getting so much more to supercar look. Like look at that.
It looks nuts.
And I don't know. Are you familiar with?
It looks more like a Corvette though, too, in a weird way. Like the front end of it, I feel like looks.
Yeah, they kind of fix some of the weird proportions.
Yeah.
That like, and then this is like with the Pantera
weird
hatch too.
Weird. I mean,
So
I
these are
love.
all, like,
I think C7 was like pinnacle look of Corvette. That thing looked violent and sweet with the 4 exhaust pipes in the middle and all that. But this thing looks really cool.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of like this, like even camouflage, like very supercar.
Looks like a McLaren.
Like different. Okay. So are you familiar with the McLaren GT?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I know it by name, but I don't think I could pick it out of a lineup. So I think that qualifies as a no.
So this is the McLaren GT, which like looks like if they made the C8 Corvette E-Ray in a video game and didn't have the license.
Yes,
like, make it close.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Like that's a McLaren.
And
we were just looking at a Chevy Corvette.
Wow.
Like look at that. I actually prefer the Vette.
I do too.
Like I hate to say that.
Yeah.
But like
I definitely prefer the Vette.
This looks sick.
Wow.
This looks ick.
Good.
Sick or ick. New section on Third Coast Podcast.
Sick or ick.
I mean, okay, that looks pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. This looks pretty awesome too.
That looks like a video game Corvette from the front and a video game Bugatti from the rear.
Yeah, I thought that was so, and it's got the cool doors.
Yeah, interesting.
So there's that. And this is also like I believe their hybrid thing. But anyways, we're not here to talk about the McLaren. I just thought that was a funny, like, since you said it, I was like, this looks just like that. So here's another one spotted. This was the Z06 on the side with the crazy spoiler and the E-Ray here.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's all-wheel drive. It is I believe it's I don't have all of the deets on it. Nobody does. It's not out yet. But I believe it's the regular V8, not the flat plane crank, like super high horsepower one.
Gotcha.
But all-wheel drive with the hybrid.
Back to LT, LS,
and it's not a PHEV, which is plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, right? Hybrid electric. Right. It's not a plug-in hybrid.
Gotcha.
So I think it's more along the lines of like
regenerative kind of a thing. Interesting.
Yep.
So it's like supplemental. It's not. There's going to be no electric only mode for it.
Right. I believe so. That's the thoughts, anyways, right now.
Okay.
So super cool concept. So I saw that and I started digging in a little bit more to like, okay, so now so they did the regular C8, then they did the C8 Z06, right?
Yep.
Now they're doing the C8 E-Ray. I'm like, how many more of these are doing?
Yeah.
And then I went down a rabbit hole, y'all.
I saw your New Balances. I knew you were pretty deep in Corvette territory.
I was in. So really, really cool story. There was a speech that the president of GM gave, talking to the investors, that the new version of the C8 that's going to be coming out in the future would set the standard of the world for performance for Chevrolet.
Ooh.
He's talking about a new version of the C8. He did not refer to it as a Corvette. Interesting, right?
Weird.
Okay. So then I was like, what do you mean he didn't refer to? How can a C8 not be a Corvette in name? Right? Because they're basically,
that's weird.
They can take this
Corvette's
platform.
The brand. C8's just the chassis number.
Right. So they can take that chassis, the newly developed mid-engine chassis.
Yeah.
And they can make something totally different. So it got me looking. Apparently there is, I think these are confirmed plans of 1,000 horsepower Chevrolet C8 based supercar.
Ooh.
So not a Corvette, but based on that chassis.
Interesting. Okay.
So the plans currently are all-wheel drive, the flat plane crank engine, but twin turboed. So up to 1,000 horsepower from the factory.
Isn't that already like a 700 horsepower engine?
It's up there. I think it's in the 6s, but it's up there.
So you're going to twin turbo that.
Yeah. And then an all-wheel drive. And then they're going to call it, the rumors right now are that they're going to call it the Zora. So I was like, Zorro? Like cool movie and all. But like, what, the Zora. So turns out the original designer of the Corvette C1 in the 60s, his dream for that car working with GM was a mid-engine, all-wheel drive, lightweight supercar.
No way.
And his name was Michael Zora.
No way.
Let's cut it if I got his name wrong. I think it was Michael. Zora Arcus.
Zora?
My bad, guys.
Arcus?
Oh, he was born in Belgium.
Wow.
Yeah, so like this was the first concept.
Wow.
Which is like now seeing what the C8 is. And like, so this
weird. So my comment of like, it looks more like a Corvette was actually more accurate to what the first Corvette was supposed to be versus like current Corvette.
Right. Like, look at this versus this.
It looks like a new GT.
It was called the CERV. It's an all-wheel drive sports car. It featured a 2-speed automatic transmission driving the front wheels and the second 2-speed transmission driving the rear wheels, propelled to 60 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds. 60 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds in 1960.
In the 60s?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
So he retired in 75, but yeah, he was the father.
That's so
He's known as
cool.
the father of the Corvette. So how cool is that? Because I won't lie, I was a little bit confused about the mid-engine Corvette when it came out. I was like, kind of odd. It's always been this like front engine muscle car, rear wheel drive. So they came out with more like supercar along the lines of that as like their new models. Like that's kind of weird, but that's like more genuine to Corvette than anything.
Weirdly,
realistically,
yeah.
For that to be like,
it's like everybody thought this was like a weird. They're going off like out in left field somewhere, but it's actually returning to the roots of what the Corvette was designed to be from the beginning, or envisioned to be from the beginning, as the pinnacle would be if it could get to this point. And then that's interesting because then it went front engine. It did its little diversion for all these years while they built up an engine platform, and all these European car companies were going crazy into these like mid-engine, rear-engine cars.
And if you think back to the times of like, this is in the same time of like Ford versus Ferrari, like that movie, like making the Ford GT, and that was rear engine supercar that was competing with the Ferraris, and like they were in the same lane, and it just went a different route, more than likely because of business, like what would sell, what was popular, because like what was popular here production wise was like
muscle cars,
Mustangs, and like that type of stuff. And so
that's
like
nuts.
The new C8 realistically is fulfilling the GM visionaries mid-engine quest. That's what this article title is. So I just read it.
I like you started that sentence like, look what I came up with. And you're like, this is a direct, I'm directly reading it.
Don't reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean? But I thought that was so cool.
That is really
I just
neat.
learned about that. Like, I also love that I called it Michael Zora. I'm not going to live that down. I really thought his name was Mike.
At least people won't bother you for saying Kenny.
Yeah, right. So let me see if I missed anything else.
So GM, if we could,
just super cool,
sneaky peeky of that one.
Yeah, right. So it's planned for 2025 at this point.
Oh,
so it's going to be quite a while.
E-Ray is this year though?
I believe the E-Ray is 2023.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Or actually, you know what? It may be 2024. That would make sense, right? Because they're leaving. They left.
They just came out with
2020 and 20. Well, when did they just started delivering them this year, right? Or last year, 2022? Whatever.
Yeah.
In the last year or two.
Yeah. They're very recent. There's not a ton.
Came out with the base Stingray.
Right.
And now 2023, this year, they're coming out with the Z06, actually delivering those models. Yeah. It would make sense that they wait a year before the E-Ray comes out, and then another year before like the Killer comes out.
That would
like
make
the
sense.
super crazy one. Which, okay, let's
put
it in perspective of the whole world of cars.
Yeah.
How many cars are we talking about that are being canceled, that are supercars? Everyone's going electric. Corvette's planning to make 1,000 horsepower supercar in 2025.
It's like you have
it's in their future plans.
You have Corvette doing that, and then you have like the all-wheel drive Mustang Dark Horse concept thing that they're talking about.
Was that all-wheel drive too? Yeah. I like that everything's going all-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's
and it's the same. It's a hybrid all-wheel drive system. Okay. So it's like they're going that way with it, which is
I'm very
really
interested
weird.
to like feel how those drives, because technology is getting so good that like you could literally have a manual paired to a hybrid system like that, where it's like two different engines.
Yeah.
Doing the power.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you could simulate it completely. I just found I didn't save the video. We'll do it in a different episode. But it was somebody showed how an electric. I forget which vehicle it is. It's an electric vehicle that has a 6-speed and that like actually is a 6-speed.
Didn't Ford do that at the 2021 SEMA or something like that?
Maybe it wasn't Ford. Like I want to say it was like Hyundai or Kia or something weird like that. Yeah, it was just a video of like how it worked or whatever. But
they could absolutely do a lower powered electric.
Yeah,
they could monitor the torque.
Yeah,
with the computer and make it a manual.
Yeah,
gearbox.
It's hard though because it's like, there's no reason for it. Like in an electric car, there's like so little reason for it other than like driver enjoyment.
Oh, Well, you could get away with, because why do we have transmissions at all? Because we need to deliver the power at a higher ratio to be able to go faster. An electric engine can just
it's because torque. Yeah, it's because like an ICE engine doesn't have enough torque on the low end to just start in highway speed and go up. But like electric motors just function completely differently. Like DC engines are just different.
Right.
So,
like they can. We can't go from like 5 RPM in city driving and then all the way up to whatever, like our 4,500 RPM at highway speeds.
Right.
The electrics can. So
because they produce torque instantly. Like when they're on torque.
And what they could do, instead of having a motor big enough to take that car at all speeds, at all RPMs, they could do a much lower powered, cheaper, and electric engine where you need to be able to shift it to get a different gear, have a lower gear ratio.
Yeah. I don't know
how much that would help.
I don't know if you would though, because I don't know if there's I don't know much about DC engines, but I don't know if there's a trade-off between like what you're saying. If you get an engine that's not, or like a DC motor that's not powerful enough to do the whole thing. Yeah. I don't know if it's powerful enough to do anything. I think it's like I think if it is, and it has torque to do it because it's just an inherent factor. It's not like a feature, it's just an inherent thing of it. Yeah. To have that torque. I don't know that for sure though.
Because I wonder how that would, because then could you potentially make a very, very light electric car then and have like 90% of the weight be battery, and then it's a smaller engine, but you got 8 gears or whatever for you to get up to highway speeds.
That'd be neat.
Or something like that.
I mean, it'd be cool from a fun standpoint. I don't know if it would be
if it'd be practical.
If it would be better for anything
would you
other
rather
than fun.
Would you rather have 100% of torque and power through one gear, or would you rather have a lower amount of torque and power, but you get to go through the gears?
I wonder, could you imagine how beefy that transmission would have to be to deal with the torque from that?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing with I could have swore it was a Mustang. That was the fully electric with a 6-speed manual.
It might have been.
It was a concept either way. It wasn't a real thing, but
I don't know. The video I found though was like, it was some production thing that they were showing how it works and everything, which was interesting. But
it wasn't hybrid; it was full electric.
That's what I thought. I'll have to look it up.
Wouldn't that be simple enough? Don't you just drive shaft like throw it up to the transmission? Not direct, but like with the clutch and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you could. The issue though is like
all that torque though, dude. Imagine burning a clutch. You just accidentally push the gas a little bit. And
well, that's why.
There's my clutch.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't need it. Like you just control the power level and that's it. But, But I don't know. It's great because I think now that I'm saying this too, I'm pretty sure I thought the S1 was like a 2-speed. It's not, you can't manually function it, but I thought the S1 Hunatron was like a 2-speed thing. I thought it had 2 forward gears. I could be wrong though.
I don't remember.
But anyway, that's really cool news about the Corvette.
Yeah, I'm excited to see those. Like that was always kind of like the joke, I feel like, when the new C8 came out. It's like, oh, it's like Corvette or Chevy's making like a supercar. Right. Now they're like, no, we're legitimately making a supercar.
Like, no, we're gonna roast all supercars.
We're actually doing that.
Oh,
which is awesome because we haven't had that since the 4GT, and now that's canceled.
Right,
canceled. 4GT, you got.
Speaking of canceled,
oh no, where are we going?
Well, I have 2 really funny weird things to end the episode.
Okay, let's go.
So the first one is, I'm going to read this title and we'll talk about it. Mercedes is introducing an acceleration subscription fee.
What?
No, this isn't satire.
Acceleration subscription? What does that mean?
For $1,200 annually, the U.S. electric Mercedes car owners can pay for faster acceleration.
Come on.
Right?
That's ridiculous.
This is in the ongoing conversation of subscription services for cars, what's allowed, what's not allowed. There was an interesting line drawn in this, but so this is a Mercedes option that supposedly isn't available like overseas. It's just like a U.S. only thing. But for that $1,200 a year, you can purchase an upgrade that will equate to about a 24% increase in output. That will lower the 0 to 60 from 6.2 seconds to 5.2. And this is for the Mercedes. I hate their numbers. It makes no sense. Mercedes EQ 350 SUV. Okay. And it's, first of all, ugly.
That's the SUV?
I think so.
Oh, it just looks like
a car. But yeah, so they're pitching this. So New Jersey's already having a bunch of issues with this whole subscription thing.
Yeah.
And the interesting
BMW
line,
and Audi, right? That's who they're
yeah,
fighting
they were
right now,
going
yeah.
after BMW specifically because they were doing the heated seat thing.
Typical.
Typical BMW. So it was interesting. Yeah. So the base, I didn't realize this before when we talked about the New Jersey thing. New Jersey legislators want to make a practice of charging for hardware already installed in cars illegal, unless the manufacturer could prove the feature could require ongoing costs to maintain. For example, paying to keep sat-nav systems accurate for services like OnStar, which employ real operators in call centers. So things like that.
I see.
So that's a weird gray area. People already pay for that. I paid for Starlink on my Subaru that did the remote start that technically is installed, but it's just push to start anyway. So like, is it installed or it's just like weird? So like, I think nobody would argue like acceleration is like a really weird, like
how do you
pay to upgrade thing?
Yeah.
Other than, because I don't think Tesla does anything like that. You have to pay for the Plaid, obviously.
I think you just buy the better car.
Right.
I don't think they do any paywall stuff.
Right. So I thought that was super, super weird that like.
That's the worst one I've heard yet.
That's definitely the worst one I've heard yet. Because but then also like.
It's like a video game. You just like pay to upgrade your car to be faster. It's like the same car. You didn't do anything to it. You just paid some money.
Yeah. I was going to say it's
like a video game.
I was trying to draw a line in my head of like, it's like if you go to the Dodge dealer and go buy a bunch of Hemi stuff, but it's not because you're buying new parts and you're putting new parts in the car. Right. This is literally like.
You could upgrade the car.
And you can tune a car, but that's different still. Because you're still getting something. This
has got to be tunable. So like, are we looking at a future where every car is built exactly the same and it depends on how much you pay for it for what you get?
Yeah.
Like they all come with the same stuff. And then there's like that underground.
Yeah.
Like we voided the warranty.
Yeah.
Like that's really bad in this case because it's like no one else will fix it besides the dealer who makes it because it's a lot of software.
Yeah. Isn't it
and like
funny?
You can tune it and make it faster, but then you're kind of screwed if anything breaks.
It's so Mercedes in my mind.
Seems
of
so
like
elitist.
Like BMW, like we charge for heated seats, and then Audi's like really quietly, but like sort of charging for like
it was weird
HVAC
AC stuff. Yeah, it was
but
weird.
they didn't advertise that at all. It just like happened to come with it installed. They never were like, hey, by the way, you can pay this much for whatever. It just didn't come with the option enabled.
Yeah,
and that which would have been the sweetest.
They were just doing a convenience thing.
Yeah, it just wasn't on. Which like if you had VCDS, maybe you could go buy a base model Audi and enable everything.
I wonder if that's how that works.
But then you got like, so it's like they're sitting there like having their quiet little German meeting about like, we do this. And they're like, well, we might do this. And then Mercedes comes in and they're like, everybody, if you pay $1,200 a year, you can go faster. And they're like, shut up, dude. What are you doing? And they're like, what? You guys are doing it with your thing. They're like, we don't know this.
Dude, pretty soon you have to pay to use your headlights.
Right?
Like,
right? Like,
do you want to be like, I didn't pay my headlight bill this month. I'm sorry, I can't drive at night.
Like shuts off while you're driving. Yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
Anyway, super weird. Like I wonder, they're gonna have, I'm sure, like, do you want to pay for sport mode in your Audi? Like, do you want to have dynamic suspension or do you just want to have regular suspension? Go for it. Do you want to be able to adjust your torque vectoring from front to back? You have to pay extra for it. Like all this weird stuff that's just in it.
Similar, like, okay, this is a funny gray area, right? Because you're paying money for software to increase your speed.
Yep.
What do you do when you buy a tune for a car?
Right.
That's all you're doing.
The thought, though, I think is
like all the capabilities are already there.
Yeah.
All you're doing is improving the software.
Yeah.
Like I did that in my car for stage 0 to stage 1, like stock to stage 1.
Right.
There were no hardware modifications. It was strictly software, and I got like 92 more horsepower.
Right.
Like
I think the thought there though is like you're paying, like they have to come up with a base map that tune every vehicle. So like every variant in engine, every variant in head gasket depth, every variant in anything. Yeah. It's a base tune that's reliable. And then they can get behind it to say, hey, we'll warranty this vehicle for like 30,000 miles off the factory because we know it's going to reliably run.
Because they underpower it.
Yeah. When you tune, you're like voluntarily voiding that to say, well, there is more headroom in that turbo, but it's going to lower the life of it long term.
Yeah.
But like you're willing to make the sacrifice up front. So like where this is weird is it's kind of like, maybe that is a through line where they're basically saying like, well, it can do that, but it's going to be more powerful and it's going to require more wear.
So that's why we're going to charge more because there's going to be more risk of us having to fix it under warranty.
But I think what's weird is that they voice it as a subscription. I think if they said one-time fee, if you want to purchase an upgrade from purchasing the vehicle, and it's $1,000 and you get the faster thing, that maybe would feel fine for everybody. I think maybe that's where the problem is. Literally, they're talking about $100 a month just to go a little bit faster.
You know what? Tesla did do this initially.
Did they?
With their full self-driving.
Did they?
didn't every car come stock with like the cameras and everything, but like you had to pay $6,000 to have full self-driving capabilities.
Yeah, to outfit something. Like to go get some update thing done at the dealer or something, right?
It was only a software, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Because I think you could like not buy it and then go bring your car in it. I don't know.
I thought they had to equip some stuff though. I thought there was different modules and everything.
But where this is, that is super gray because you're right about that. But well, I guess this is different. If it was a one-time thing,
yeah,
it would make sense because some companies, I think APR is one of them for Audi, where they're making, I think it's just called APR Plus. So it's not even stage 1 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's like just below that.
Yeah.
But they extend the manufacturer warranty.
Oh, interesting.
So it like keeps the warranty.
Yeah. But still have a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I know Malone for the diesel stuff, they call it stage half. It's like stage 0.5.
That's funny.
And it's that. It's just like
just
OEM
like
plus.
A little more juice.
Yeah. Just like a little bit more headway in it. But yeah, I think maybe that's, I didn't realize that till we were talking about it now. Maybe that's the issue with it is if you like, yeah, that is 100% the issue with it. Because same with the heated seat thing. If you were buying the car and they said, hey, it's going to cost X more dollars to have heated seats, it's still slimy because every car comes with it. Maybe that part still doesn't feel right.
Yeah, that's so weird.
It's like this thing, I'd be okay with it being a blanket fee, but the heated seat thing, I still have a problem with because even if I say no, I don't want to pay extra, I'm driving a car with heated seats that I can't turn on now.
Yeah, that one's a little bit tough because you're like, I don't want to pay extra to have them installed, but then you have them installed.
It's like if you purchase hardware, you should be able to use hardware.
Yeah, maybe that's the delineation is hardware versus software.
Yeah,
but then the Audi thing is like, well, then couldn't they argue that like, well, we don't have the software installed to do the heated seats or like, couldn't they argue that? Or maybe it's like they could get around it by doing like a module.
Yeah.
So like the seat is technically capable.
Yeah.
But they didn't like, you don't have the module. And it could be like some stupid plug.
Yeah.
That just connects it, you know?
Yeah. They
could get around it probably that way.
Well, that was even, so I put a heated steering wheel on our Audi and it was like, not, because they're all like CAN bus driven systems.
Yeah.
Which I don't totally understand other than it's all computers.
I said, and I didn't even understand what that meant. So.
Well, it's just not switches anymore. So there's no relays switches in our cars. Like our cars are all ran by computer. So like everything's addressable. So like it is like a computer.
So that means you can change the function of each switch.
Yeah. So like, so like putting a heated steering wheel in a newer Audi like mine was not like plug in the steering wheel and then go find 12-volt positive and ground. And then now you have a switch that works. It was, I had to get a steering wheel and then I had to get the steering wheel control module. And then I had to get the cluster that accepts the control module for that steering wheel.
You'd get a whole new cluster too?
Yeah. And then I had to get a cluster being the stocks and everything, that system.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to get a new clock spring with the port to plug in the heated steering wheel to go through to the computer and everything. So it's like that whole thing. And then you have to go in VCDS and code which steering wheel you have. And it's a series of numbers that's like, if it's like, it's a 5-digit number and each digit represents something. So the first digit, if it's a 1, means you have a sedan. If it's a 2, it means you have a wagon. The second one is sport steering wheel, 2 is 4-spoke steering wheel, 3 is heated steering wheel. Like it's that level. Do you have paddle shifters? Yes or no? And it's a special code for it. So like it's all computer addressable that way. So that's like where the Audi thing's difficult because their warning was like, the warning should have said like hardware not installed for this option or something like that. But instead it said like this has not been purchased. So it was like,
that's when
so then does it have
but they probably couldn't say hardware not installed because it is.
Right. So like that's where it gets difficult. Like, okay, wait, if my car, like if I found out, because like we bought a Q7 Prestige only because we really wanted adaptive cruise, but like that was the one that came with cooled seats and we test drove one with cooled seats and we fell in love with it. And if I found out like I could have bought a Premium Plus because it has the same cooled seat, but it's just not enabled, I'd be pissed. Because I'd be like, well, wait, I just like
spend all this money.
I narrowed down all my search just to find a Prestige and I could have gotten it with Premium Plus or whatever the next one is. Like that kind of stuff gets weird. Cause like same for yours. If you found out like you don't have adaptive cruise on your Audi, right? Right. And if you found out it actually does, it's the same systems, but it just wasn't on, you'd be like, well, what the heck? Like turn it on. I want to use that. I just don't have the stock that has the switch for it. Like, what do you mean? Like it says that kind of stuff where like,
or like the switches are there, but they're just blank.
Yeah. Or even my Audi. Apparently my Q7 is the only one that cannot have auto folding mirrors. The mirrors fold. If I flip the switch, it folds. And other earlier Q7s will and later ones will. But for some reason, there's like a window that like you can't enable it. There's no way to enable it. It's like software limited somewhere.
That's
but, like,
so weird.
You know it can do it, but
it can fold. It can physically fold the mirrors automatically.
Yep. If I flip the switch, they'll fold, but you can't do it automatically.
That's so weird.
Yeah, but it's like things like that where like you run all these weird software issues.
Well, think about it in any other avenue besides cars. Like if iPhone, for example.
Yeah.
If they like every single phone was the same.
Okay.
But like like say this is like the 128 or whatever, and it actually has 2 terabytes of storage.
Yeah.
But they software limit it to 128 because that's what I paid for. And then if I go trade it in to get a 2 terabyte one, they take my phone in the back and unlock it and then bring it back to me and be like, hey, here's your new phone.
Yeah, that's
2 terabyte. Like, or if you had to pay, I guess you kind of have to pay though. Like I pay for 2 terabyte storage on iCloud. Same. But that's different because it's not hard. So that's software. And a cloud, like that's a separate thing. Right. It's not hardware to that. Like I think
because you're paying for that. Essentially, you're paying rent. They have a real estate of storage. They have
that is somewhere. A physical. That isn't just cloud. It's cloud to the user, but it's actually a physical something. Yeah,
there's
somewhere.
an actual bay farm somewhere.
Yeah.
So maybe that. Yeah, I was worried when you brought up the iPhone thing. I was like, oh no, are we about to reveal this in everyday life everywhere that we do?
That is pay to play for everything.
Yeah. I mean, it is in some ways, but
you had to pay for upgrades to stuff. Yeah, but it's usually not like you have it and then like like it's not like you buy a coffee at Starbucks and like it's $4, right? And it has the caffeine in it, but to activate it, you got to pay $5, right? Like that's like with the phone. I don't think I as I was thinking through this while you were talking, I was like, it's very possible. Yeah, who would know? Right. You'd have to take the phones apart and figure out the store and like be able to read the storage. Or, I'm sure someone would have figured it out by now. But they could very easily do that because it's not like the phones are different sizes. Right. And it's not like the batteries are different. Right. And it's not like everything else is the same. It's just the size of the storage chip that they put on there. Right. And let's be honest, does that really cost them any difference to put on a 128 versus
You'd
a
think
terabyte?
It'd be the same, right?
But they can tier it.
Right. You'd think it'd be harder to do it with different versions. That's what I think about a lot. Is like with a lot of this car stuff, like I was just thinking about that with that. Like even with the heated steering wheel, they had to come up with tooling to do one with and to do one without.
Why wouldn't you just do it with?
Right. And like, I don't really understand.
Like, we just figure out why they do this because they're like, rather, we have to engineer both cars. Why don't we just make every car the same? Yeah. So our manufactured costs are actually less because we don't have to have 6 assembly lines or 27 assembly lines if you're BMW in every single submodel. Right. Like you can have 1 assembly line and then.
Because if you have to make the feature at all, it's more expensive to do it without the feature.
Right.
Keep saying what you're saying. I'm sorry.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like rather than, and then when you're out the door, when they get to the dealership, like it gets to the logo station when they put the emblems on. Right. And then when they code them, like, oh, which one's this going to be? Let's make this one an RS or whatever.
Right. Right. Because it's like different. That's where it gets tricky is like, like if you get if we use Audi as an example, because we understand it, like an A3 and an S3 and an RS3, very different cars because the heart's different. Like it's just actually different, like different sway bars, different physical hardware. Yeah. But like software side of it, like there's different trim levels. Like there's the Alcantara interior on an RS3. Yeah. And you know, the base model A3.
You couldn't install that stuff and then have it not accessible. But okay, remember that BMW that changed colors? Yeah. You could have a payment for like changing like you do in a video game. Yeah. Oh, it's $500 to change your paint color. Yeah. And then like changes colors. And sure, you could code that maybe. Like anything's hackable, right? Even video, when we're talking about video games, like you can hack the video games and stuff, and then like it might glitch out or whatever. Yeah. Like you can jailbreak your phone and give it different features that aren't available, but then it's like kind of screws it up. Yeah, yeah. Like I guess that stuff is possible. Like you can tune your car, but you might screw it up. Right. Like that's possible.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird to see what electric car tuners are gonna be because it's gonna be this kind of stuff. It's gonna be like, can you enable dark mode on my Tesla interior or like what? Like it'll be stuff like that probably. Yeah. Or like, I don't know. It's going to be those things. I kind of wonder too, even with like a lot of like self-leveling and automatic brights and all that kind of stuff, like how much of that is just in headlights normally and not like, I can't imagine there's that many different other than other sensors that play into that system. Right. Like all that stuff's there. Like I found out, so my Audi did not come with air suspension. That was one option I really wanted, but it was really difficult to find. And if I add it, I already have all the sensors I need for the front half. I just need to put rear sensors in because I have automatic headlights and those use the same sensors that uses. So I have like half of an air suspension setup in the car because I got the Prestige trim. So it had nothing to do with anything else I bought other than I wanted cooled seats. So now I have half of air suspension. And that's funny. That kind of, so like those kind of things are very, I don't know, it's weird. It is weird. So like there is already some root level of like you get hardware, but not all the features of it now. Right. But it's coming with, I don't know. So anyway, so there's something.
Let us know what you get. If you know about other things like this on your cars or other cars out right now of like hardware that's inaccessible without subscription or even software that's inaccessible without subscription. I think the hardware one is worse. If the hardware is inaccessible without subscription, but it's there, that's probably worse.
That's my line, I think, is like.
But software almost seems worse too, like as bad because it's like it's just digital. Like it's there.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to plug and unplug. Like it's just there.
Here's what I think on that though. And this is where I would draw the delineation is like the Mercedes already has the hardware to go faster, but they're artificially limiting it in the same way that BMW has the hardware of seats, but they're artificially limiting it because you didn't pay to add that feature, even though everything's there. So if everything's there to do the thing and they don't let you do the thing because it's behind a paywall, that's where it becomes like weird territory.
Yeah.
Because like it would be different if like, hey, this Mercedes could go faster. You're going to have to pay $5,000 up front because when you purchase it, we have to put this different motor system or this different whatever. Maybe it's a different cable pack to allow more amperage to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Makes sense. You're giving me something different. I get it. When it's like the fact that I could say for the summer, I want my car to go faster. So I'm going to budget $400 because for those 4 months, I want to have a faster Mercedes while it's nice out.
Yeah.
But I don't need to spend that money in the winter. Like that's where it gets like super weird.
You know what? I saw like, that meme of the guy on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like when your buddy challenges you to racing, so you're on hold with Mercedes to get the power pack upgrade.
Yes.
Like, where's my credit card right now?
Remember way back, we talked about, I can't remember what prompted it, but like last year we talked in an episode about software subscriptions for things like this. And we had joked about what if there was like a track day thing and they could like, you could buy it for track. You
could limit it by GPS or buy it for track. Yeah. This is literally it.
It might be there. So
that's literally it.
Super weird. But one last really quick thing that I wanted to hit because I wanted to for the last couple and I haven't found a way to put it in. Speaking of new car companies and goofy things.
There we go.
You've seen Kia's rebrand, right?
Their weird logo?
Their KN. Yeah.
Wait, what?
So their new logo. Kia rebrand. So they went from Kia to this. This is their new logo.
Didn't they just do a new logo?
Yeah, this is the one. This has just been how long I've wanted to talk about this. So old versus new.
This looks different though.
Oh, this is the new one.
Wow.
So somehow a group of people, a huge group of people, because I know these sizes of teams. There's a lot of checks. Somebody pitched that and nobody was like, hey, that looks like KN.
But a backwards end.
I don't know if this is a
weird
lost in translation thing because this was originated over probably in Korea. I don't know if it's that. But this is what they landed on. So all the new Kias
what is the point of it,
have
though?
this, right?
Yeah.
So much so that KN car is now Googled by 30,000 users a month following their rebrand.
So funny. It's like, what is this KN?
Well,
because Kia has changed so much into what they look like.
Right.
Maybe that was part of it. They're like, let's differentiate ourselves from ourselves.
Maybe. I know. I was putting my marketing hat on thinking that too. Like, okay, let's make
ourselves unrecognizable literally in logo and in body styles.
Right. Because we are not that Kia anymore. Maybe they're doing that game, but kind of hilarious that they're paying however much to redirect this traffic for what is KN car.
They're paying, so they're buying.
Oh, I'm sure they're paying
SEO for KN Google searches so that it goes to Kia.
Like if I go KN car, a KN car brand.
Yeah, for Kia pops up first.
That is interesting though. There's no ads.
So they're not necessarily paying then. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, there's just the first one here. Yeah, there's no advertisements though. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's just super like.
So if you search KN car though, it comes up as I see everything Kia.
The first one is what is KN car 30,000. It's the same the article that we're going over now. The second one is Kia, and then it's Autoblog and Reddit.
That's so funny.
So whether that's a weird strategy or not, somebody in Gen Z apparently got in the marketing department of Kia.
Right.
But it is cool from the perspective of that. Like, I forget, I think it was Tyler talking about like all the new cars he sees now. He's like, dude, what is that? And
they look so sick.
Kia. They look cool.
There seems to be like 50 new Kia models.
Oh yeah.
I always just see a new sharp looking like Tron Age type of LED car. And
they're all Kias. Yep.
Okay, cool.
They look cool.
Hyundai. Hyundai every once in a while comes out with a cool one.
Yep. But it's kind of funny. It's like that's as far as it's gone for me. I've not been like, I gotta look in these new stickers.
No, that's it. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, cool.
Still
Carry on. But anyway, so I thought that was funny. 30,000 users a month. So they're dealing with that much traffic just to try to figure out what the heck it is. So
what is KN
whatever.
Car?
But anyway, so
that's awesome.
That's what we got for this week. Definitely.
Is that one? Was that a real Kia or was that just like a? Sorry, we didn't go back to it, but I don't know how you just did that. That was cool.
Undo.
I don't know how you do that.
I don't know what that is. It's part of that. Whatever that is.
By KN.
The full brand relaunch. By KN.
By KN.
Oh, they all have Canon filters now?
Yeah, right.
Oopsie.
No, that's KNN. This is KN.
Yeah, Canon's
they've
just
never had the line in the A though, right? It's always just been a little TP. Right?
What?
For the A.
Oh,
Kia.
yeah. Yeah, that's always been the keel. I mean, I don't know if always.
Not always,
I don't know how long
yeah.
it's been around, but yeah. What?
Oh, did we just find something?
That's what it was in 44?
1944?
1944.
That's how long Kia's been around?
That was it then. Okay, that's a worse rebrand. This looks like a manufacturing company.
Yeah.
This is the same. And then, yeah.
So they're actually closer to the logo that we know than they ever have been.
If you yeah, never mind, actually.
Yeah.
You guys did great.
Nice job, Kanan.
Yeah, 53 to 64. I didn't know. What does a 1953 Kia look like?
It's got to be just a tractor motor, right?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, so they did trucks.
Interesting.
Just trucks?
No, they were with Mazda, apparently.
What? Kia or Mazda?
I don't know. Rabbit hole to go down another day.
Yeah, all right.
So
let us know.
Definitely join the Facebook group, you guys. Third Pedal Podcast crew. We're sharing pieces from the episode. Maybe we'll put like source material and stuff on there too for you guys.
Well, we can also do like BTS and like deleted stuff. Because there's stuff we pull off episodes that are like just
us rambling. But no,
maybe you don't want to. Maybe we don't post.
Yeah, maybe we don't. From the beginning though, like we were saying, like post on there, like for your introductory post, share your car. If you don't have a car yet, what you're working towards, if you have a motorcycle, whatever you're working on, share that. Tell us what you've done to it, what your plans are to it, things like that. Comment on other people's posts. Like we really want this to be like the first actual gathering. Like we're trying to figure out how to do like a car show hosted by us, like that kind of thing. We're trying to sort the logistics out. This is the first step in that direction.
Yeah,
Let's see if we can get
it's going to be the first and best place for news about the podcast shows, anything that we're going to be doing is going to be hosted on this group.
Yeah, and you guys already, like we get a ton of like, this is what I worked on this week. Hey, look at me in my garage shirt. This is what I've done. Like a ton of make it or break it's, which I love. But like, it's hard to kind of fit those in all the time to the content. So we'd way rather, instead of it just be for us three to like look at and laugh at, we'd way rather like, you can keep doing that for sure. We're always there to look at it. But if you share it with the group, like everybody can get it faster. We don't have to wait for it to be in an episode. It can be shared in. We can all comment on it. You guys can comment on it. We can find other stuff. Like Zach said before, we've had people like where we post to make it or break it. Somebody sends us a different camera angle of the same thing, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But
we'll probably share all of our short content, like the TikTok type stuff, the 60 seconds or less, to the group too.
Yep.
So that's where you comment with those extra angles, like
absolutely
reactions, that type of stuff to it.
Check it out. So that again on Facebook, Third Pedal Podcast crew. As always, thirdpedalpodcast.com. We've got the hoodies, the hats. Not wearing the hat this time. I wore it last episode.
I don't think any of us. No,
hoodies,
neither
hats.
of us are wearing
We've got a cool patch. We're gonna be doing some racing stuff later this year, just like autocross stuff. But hopefully that can go in a racing suit. Nice little Third Pedal Podcast patch.
Now we're talking.
We got a whole bunch of stuff on there. And as always, this is my garage shirt, the only shirt designed to get dirty with a lifetime warranty. If you jack it up while you're working on your car, send it in. We'll send you a brand new one.
I think we've got someone who's destroyed one already.
Yes. Yeah, we just got a comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to get him to send it in.
Yep. Yeah, we gotta trace that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, oh, I would be wearing it, but it's all like destroyed.
Whoever you are,
send it in.
We'll give you a new one. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you on the flippity.
Peace. On the flippity. That's a good one.